Hi everyone, we are going to talk about the mysteries of Cush, the other Cush, aka Nubia, starting with the Bible, the book of Isaiah, chapter 18, verse 1. Woe to the land of wiring wings along the rivers of Cush, which send envoys by the sea, even in pamperous vessels on the surface of the waters. Go, swift messengers, to a nation tall and smooth, to a people feared far and wide, a powerful and oppressive nation whose lands the rivers divide. Feared far and wide. Most of what we learn of the 25th dynasty of Egypt only mentions Cush's conquest of Egypt. If they only conquered Egypt, why would they have a rep of being feared far and wide? Let's explore it, shall we? The PBS special on Nubia, where they say Black Pharaoh 50,000 times, does mention how Cush beats off the Assyrians, at the Battle of Jerusalem. That would definitely add to one's rep of being feared far and wide. Bible has two other interesting verses that could add to these conquests. We have the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 9. Ethiopia and the land of Egypt gave unlimited assistance. Ethiopia was her might, and Egypt too without limits. Put and Luban were among her helpers. We also have the book of Ezekiel, chapter 30, verse 5. Ethiopia, Libya, Lydia, and all Arabia and all other allies will be destroyed in that war. Libya is listed as an ally in both verses. In the book of Nahum, Put, P-U-T, is Libya, not to be confused with P-U-N-T. Luban also seems to be a sort of Libyan state in western Egypt. So we know that the reason the Nubians went into Egypt in the first place was because of the Libyans. They were trying to protect Thebes from being taken by the Libyans, who were getting powerful in the delta. So if Egypt was a conquered territory, it seems reasonable that the Libyans were also a conquered territory. Let's go to the Greeks. So we have Strabo, a Greek historian. He talks about Tierko or Taharka. This is what he says. Sesostris the Egyptian, he says, he's quoting another Greek writer, and Tierko the Ethiopian advanced as far as Europe. And this one guy, whose name I'm not going to pronounce because it's difficult, who was more celebrated amongst the Chaldeans than Hercules among the Greeks, penetrated as far as the Pillars of Hercules, which Tierko also reached. Pillars of Hercules are the Straits of Gibraltar, between Morocco and Spain. Next, I'm going to go to Pliny the Elder. This is what he states. Ethiopia was worn out by alternative periods of dominance and subjugation in a series of wars with Egypt. Having been famous and powerful country even down to the Trojan Wars, when Memnon was king, and the stories about Andromedon showed that she dominated Syria and the coast of the Mediterranean in the time of King Cepheus. So he's mixing a little bit of reality with fantasy, talking about Memnon and Andromeda. However, the idea of a series of wars with Egypt is true. And he also talks about the Ethiopians dominating Syria and the Mediterranean. So again, cross-referencing this with Strabo, in order to get to the Straits of Gibraltar, you have to go across several countries, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, all along the Mediterranean. I mentioned something from a writer who came much later. His name is Floria de Ocampo. He wrote the Chronica General, published in Medina del Campo in 1553, an Ethiopian general who came to Spain, and he later became king of Egypt. So if you Google the name Tarragona, you will see that this city in Spain has several legends concerning the founding of this particular city, so this region rather of Spain. And one of those legends concerns that it was founded by a 7th century Ethiopian king. So this is still considered one of the stories behind the founding of this city. When you watch those specials, either done by PBS or whatever, you kind of get the sense that the Nubians got lucky, that this is their brief moment in the sun, is conquering Egypt. And we see that they more than got lucky. They were clearly one of the greatest empires that ever was at the time, and it would have been bigger than the Assyrians at the time. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.